sound of gunfire in games. I think there are certain games that, I mean, the audio for weapons doesn't sound realistic, and then that doesn't bother me. It's when you get to the hyper realistic games, or at least the audio, like Insurgency was pretty alarming. Like when I took cover in Insurgency, I took cover. And I have fired weapons before. I've never been in a firefight, thankfully. Beautiful part of the game. I have not played Sleeping Dogs. I need to play that. I've heard that was decent. I do own it. None of the above, Requiem. My best friend invited me over to his place for Labor Day weekend one. So it might have been 2006, I want to say. Something like that. And his uncle's friend owns weapons that he should not own. Well, actually, no, I think they were all legal. None of them were fully automatic. Like I fired a Chinese Type AK. That was semi-auto. First gun I ever fired was a 50 cal revolver. That nearly hit me in the head. I fired a Glock 17. I want to say a Beretta Cheetah 22 caliber pistol, 10 round mag. A 308 sniper. I forget the make. Unscoped, mind you. And a 22 long. Bolt action rifle. I think that's it. And it was all target shooting. For anyone who just recently joined, this is a recording of a playthrough I did before. And it's through the whole game. I've been streaming this to test my dropped frames issues I was having earlier, and it seems to be fixed. I can really stop this at any point, but I'm just watching. Personality in it. I'm not sure I understand the question, Detrius. would love to learn archery at some point. It would be nice to see those sorts of in-game changes to a character, but the thing with that is it could directly affect the narrative. And games with characters that have strong personalities often focus on the narrative. And if what you did in-game if what you as the player did affected if the way you played the game affected how the character behaved, I think that would lessen the strength. I think that would lessen the overall personality of the character. It wouldn't necessarily make them a weak character, but there would only be so much you could do with them as a writer in that game. Take care, concerned. We are nearing the end. I would love to get into game development, it's just I don't. That would require quite a bit more education than I am comfortable with, I think. Because if you're going to get into game development and game design, you can't just get away with like English classes. You have to take an assortment of math courses, engineering courses, computer programming, computer science, yes. I I like coding. I hate I like learning coding. I like learning the way languages work. Just languages in general, coding or linguistics. I mean, it all amounts to the same thing. A language is a language. And I've learned VB, Java, some JavaScript, some HTML. I have not learned C++. I don't know any of those languages well enough to do anything significant with them. I've always learned just enough to be satisfied, and then I stopped. I've tried making RPG Maker games. I think I had a contest with Campbell a couple of years back where we both made a game within an allotted time frame. His was significantly better than mine because he's done that shit before. I was learning it for the first time and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't know if I could do coding professionally. I would get so bored. One of my favorite tracks in the game, OST wise. Oh, no, we're getting there, I think. But I appreciate that, Trios. Yeah, this is the track. If I could choose any language to learn. Oh yeah, he led me through this unscathed. And I was so appreciative of this because I never knew about that little hidey hole over there. One language to learn. I don't know. Probably Japanese. Either Japanese, well, I've taken some Chinese. I like Chinese, and my main reason for wanting to learn, or at least understand, the syntax of many different languages is that in doing so you learn all about their culture. Just the way the language is structured can tell you so much about a culture, and I love that. I think I've had my fill with Chinese, although I would like to become fluent in it. That's just 300 different characters that you have to learn, or 3,000 different characters you have to learn in order to be considered fluent. That's a lot for me. It'll take a while. But I want to learn Japanese for the same reason. I feel like if you're going to... The way I've learned most of what I know about computers has been either through direct tutoring or tutorials, or diving right into it. but mostly the direct tutorials like professors or family members or people walking through it. Although diving right in, just grabbing a text-based tutorial and reading it and understanding it, I feel can be significantly more helpful, at least in how I learn things. Because I have to make sense of it before I can apply it. It's much different than someone telling you, okay, do this and then do that in order to do this. You have to learn why this works and why it won't work if you do something wrong, if you do it with text, or by just learning it on your own. But I rather oh dear, that's a tough question. I love the materia system in FF7. Oh no, I got shut back. Every musical instrument or every language. I feel like every language will give me so much insight into how people work, but at the same time, I value music so much. That's a very tough question. I'll have to think on that. I have not tried inventing a language. I do know what my zodiac symbol is, but that would be telling. Here we go. I have not thought of learning Arabic. I never really thought of a use for Arabic. As someone who has taken Chinese, I didn't find it to be that difficult. Like, it's a difficult language to, I would say, remembering all of the different intonations. Yeah, I would say that memorizing all of the different, just how to say things in Chinese and all of the different characters you would have to learn would be a pain in the ass, but understanding how it all works is not difficult. It wasn't for me anyway. And I hated FF13. I hated, well, I didn't hate the system. I actually liked the paradigm system, I think. But playing that game for 20 hours before I got into any sort of variation in gameplay, no. I played it for literally 20 hours before the game opened up. And the gameplay in a Final Fantasy game isn't It's not like Last of Us gameplay where well, I mean, there are tense moments when you're fighting bosses and you nearly die, which has happened. But there isn't, it's not as engaging, so it doesn't keep my attention for nearly as long. I was bored through 15 hours of FF13. I've played FF8 and FF10. Wait, what? What the hell is going on? Why is Apotheosis playing? So there's a bit of a desync here. Yeah, so, yeah, no, this should not be... Yeah, there's a desync. I don't know how to fix this. One moment. I'm going to see if it's through the actual file. So I'm going to stop that and then do something awful, probably. Yeah, okay, see, that works. I don't know why it didn't, let me see if I can do this well enough. Screen region there.